All right, good morning, good afternoon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. 4.5, comparing properties of functions. There we go. All right, so comparing functions, the first thing you're going to want to do is compare the slopes. Sorry. All right. The larger the slope, the bigger the rate of change, and the steeper the line. Things we have to remember: rise over run, change in the y over the change in the x, y minus y over x minus x. Okay, if it's direct variation, this is what this means here, direct variation, if it is, it will go through the origin, it'll go through 0, 0, and to find the slope or the rate of change, it would be y divided by x. The rate of change in word problems are going to be that per or each. So like if it was $5 per gigabyte, you're going to be multiplying $5 times your variable. If it's, trying to think of a different one. Each month you pay $7 per channel, so $7 times P. Okay, when you're comparing the y-intercepts, the larger the y-intercept, it's the greater the starting amount. Okay, so remember it's that point on the y-axis, the 0, comma, number. Initial fee in word problems, starting fee, starting base fee, base rate, meaning like you have to pay $45 a month for your cable plus or $48 a month plus your channels that you want to buy. So that $48 a month, that's going to be your y-intercept. That's your starting, no matter how many channels after that. First example, a certain car has a gas mileage of 22 miles per gallon, and the gas mileage of a certain sport utility vehicle is represented by the function shown. So compare their gas mileages. So the first certain car has a gas mileage of 22 miles per gallon. So that is going to be your rate of change, that per. So 22 is this one. And then it also says a gas mileage of a certain sport utility vehicle is represented by the function shown. So over here, compare their gas mileages. So the car has 22 miles per gallon, and the sport utility vehicle, or SUV, if you notice, it goes through the origin at 0, 0. So if it goes through the origin at 0, 0, you can find the slope by doing y divided by x. So any y divided by any x. Well, I'm going to pick my easiest one of 19 divided by 1, which is 19, and miles per gallon. So here you're just comparing the two. Which one gets a better gas mileage? Well, the car gets 3 miles more per mile than the SUV. Next example, the number of new movies a store receives can be represented by the function m equals 7w plus 2, where m represents the number of movies and w represents the number of weeks. So the number of games the same store receives is shown in the table. So here is our another function. So we need to compare the functions, y-intercepts, and the rate of change. Well, first, the y-intercept of m equals 7w plus 2 would be that plus 2, right? So the b is that plus 2. So here, let's look. The movies is the equation. So we're going to do the b. It starts with 2. And then the games it doesn't tell us where it starts, right? So we're actually going to have to figure that out. Okay, so here, if we look and see that 3 divided by 1 is 3, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So if we divide our y divided by our x and we get all the same number, what is that called? It is linear, but it's also going to show direct variation. So if they are all the same, we know that our m is going to be the change in the y over the change in the x, which is also the same as the 3 divided by the 1, the 6 divided by 2, and the 9 divided by 3. They all equal 3. Okay, so if it's direct variation, it's going to start at what? Where's its starting point? It's always going to go through what point? 0, 0. Okay, so the games, y equals 3x. I'm going to multiply the games times what the number of weeks times 3. And I'm not going to add or subtract anything on here. So my b for games is going to be 0. Okay, now my m for the movies one of my other classes brought to my attention that sometimes there's letters that are the same letter. Like here, we have m equals, and I'm looking for m. Okay, I'm looking for m for the slope. The slope in our y equals mx plus b form is the slope. Okay, this m represents what? Represents the number of movies. Okay, so they're two different variables. They're two different meanings. This m is my slope. So I'm going to be multiplying the x or a variable times a coefficient or by a number. So in this equation, I'm multiplying my w by a coefficient of 7. So what's my slope in this equation? 7. Just that means 7 movies per week. And then here, what would this one be then? 3. Okay, so comparing, the store gets, and I should have done this, but 7, if I were to say movies per week, this one would be 3 movies per week. So the store gets 7 more movies than games a week. Not 7 more. I meant 4 more, sorry. 4 more movies per week. And it started with how many movies? Where did it start? No. The y-intercept is my starting point. So it started with 2 movies. And how many games did it start with then? 0. Our second part of our question asks us to how many new movies and games will the store have in week 6? So I've written my 2 equations down here, m for movies, and this is my equation. Okay, so I want to, and it's not actually y, it's m, sorry. So the number of movies is equal to the number of weeks times 7 plus 2. So I'm going to put in how many weeks is that question? It's asking us how many new movies in week 6. So in here, I'm going to put 6 in for W. Thank you. Remember to do the multiplication first. So 7 times 6 is 42. Add the 2, you get 44. Which means in week 6, there will be 44 movies. Okay, and then here, y equals 3x. We're going to do y equals 3 times 6, because each week they get 3 new movies. So in 6 weeks, they would have 18 movies. Games, sorry. Thank you. All right. We're going to do one more example, if I have enough time. Okay, Mandy and Sarah each have a membership to the gym. So Mandy's membership is represented by the function y equals 3x plus 29. So here's our first equation, where x represents the hours with a trainer and y represents the cost. Meaning x, however many hours, you're going to multiply it by x and then add 29. The cost of Sarah's membership is shown in the graph. So right here, it does not go through 0, 0. So we're going to have to write an equation for this graph. Okay, the cost, compare the y-intercepts and the rates of change. So Mandy's membership is y equals 3x plus 29. On this table, on this graph, it gives us the y-intercepts. Y-intercept. Right here. So I can right away write Sarah, it's going to be y equals, I haven't figured out my slope yet, x, and then it's going to start at, it gives us 40, so plus 40. Okay, but now I still have to find my rate of change, or my slope. So, from a graph, it's rise over run. So I can go from this point to this point. So, or if, oh no, it's not 40, sorry, it's 0.39. I didn't notice that. I thought it was at 40. That point right here, 0.39. No. Okay, so from 0.39 to 4.51, what is the change? So I'm going to rise from 39 to 51, which means I'm going to go up 12. And I go over from 0 to 4, so I go up 4. So my rate of change is going to be 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, I can also show, I have these 2 points here, 4.51 and 0.39. 4.51, 0.39. Remember, the first one is your x, the second one is your y. So I can do y minus y, which is 51 minus 39, and then 4 minus 0. 51 minus 39 is 12. 4 minus 0 is 4. I got it the same way. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 is my rate of change. Thank you. So I'm going to multiply my x by that. Okay? Mandy's starting point is that 29. Sarah's starting point is 39. So initially, Sarah has cost $10 more, and they actually are both $3 an hour, so they're paying the both per hour. Okay, so there's your ending.